with Reagan Johnson at the top of the lineup. Very similar speed, great barrel control, and so smart about her placement.
Not going to strike out a ton either. Puts bat on ball. Very quick to always a tough out.
That's the reason why you're seeing Reagan Johnson and Reagan Kramer going 1-2. Now, Deifel can use Reagan Kramer in a bunch of different positions, but Reagan Kramer and Johnson, they all Maddie Young, who was the ASUN Defensive Player of the year before.
That, yeah.
But look at how quickly Griffin is on top of this ball. You almost never see Reagan Johnson thrown out by a good 3 steps to first base. But Griffin, she's a lot like Hannah Gamble. When she played at Arkansas, she's always aggressive, moving forward, and that's the key to getting out players with lots of speed.
Both those players are also high-energy players, a good personality to have on your team.
Yeah, very similar. And, you know, I say this as a former third baseman. I loved watching Hannah Gamble play. I love watching Kylie Griffin play. She reminds me a lot of me in terms of the energy. She's a better fielder than I was. Absolutely, no doubt about it.
We can feel the energy up here in the booth, too, Dorn. You're always fun to call with.
Well, I thought you meant the energy of the kids because they have been filling in Bogle since 11 a.m. They have been pumped, they have been ready, and they have been loud.
Since we've got here, yeah.
That's right.
Loud is certainly a good word. Hitters count is a high strike to Reagan Kramer. And Reagan Kramer started the year 7-8 hole throughout, but that Ole Miss series, Coach Deifel bumped her up into the lineup, and she's been hitting great really all year long.
Her patience at the plate. A lot of times you'll see power hitters, they expand the zone a bit, they get a little bit anxious. It's never Briella. She's always understood her role in the part of the Arkansas order.
Courtney Day, you want a little tidbit on her? After Ellis walks, Day's hitting .615 with 3 home runs. She is raking 17 RBIs. Right behind Ellis after a walk.
Courtney Deifel talked about the right person hitting behind Bri Ellis because Bri Ellis is going to see a steady diet of balls in the dirt, balls outside of the zone. We've seen it over the course of the last several years with Braxton Burnside, with Rylan Hedgecock, and you have to have the right person behind them to protect them.
Runners living low in the zone gets strike 2. That's what you're going to have to do against this Arkansas lineup, live in the lower portion of the strike zone.
You have to keep it there as well. It's not just hitting that spot. It's continually being able to pepper that portion of the zone.
That one's laced off the netting. We'll do it again. Well, you looked at the beginning of the inning. Runner was pitching well, pitching to contact. The only problem is you can't make any mistakes, and Wyckoff made her pay.
With an offense is this good, sometimes that's all it takes is just one.
Good take right there from Courtney Day. Runner tried to go long. I like that approach from Runner. Again, living below the zone, tried to get her to chase.
Yeah, I like that decision by Runner, too, trying to bury that drop ball in the dirt. That's just good patience and awareness from Courtney Day.
That time climbs the ladder, gets away.
That's not really Runner's pitch. That's definitely a chase pitch. That pitch might work with an undisciplined hitter or in the Atlantic Sun, but Arkansas, they pride themselves on their recognition out of the hand. They don't swing at balls very often.
Bounces back off the pad, and count is full now, so Courtney Day, after falling behind 0-2's, worked the count on Bailey Runner.
Yeah, and for Bailey Runner, the last 3 pitches, right? So you bury one in the dirt, okay, fine. Then you climb the ladder. You have to re-get to that strike zone because when you get to this situation, this is precarious for Runner.
Payoff pitch goes change up. That one's landing into the seats. Some happy kids, perhaps. Souvenir.
Oh, we've got the windows closed up here. Otherwise, I got you, partner.
I know you always do.
Well, listen, you played baseball. We should be the good hands team up here.
We should. Well, that's the thing. That's why we're a good little tandem here. You got it. If I don't, you got it. We'll make it happen. Another payoff pitch from Bailey Runner. Fouled back again. This is a nice battle between pitcher and hitter.
Courtney Day and really Arkansas as a whole making Runner work. They've already gotten her up over 20 pitches here in the first inning. Still not out of it yet.
Another payoff pitch, fouled off once again.
I'd almost like to see runner go off speed here. We saw her use it against Reagan Kramer, got her out on the front foot.
Yeah.
She threw the drop in the dirt. She's gone high, days laid off. She's fouled off the last few. I'd like to see her really try to pull the strings and change velocity.
Griffin to first.
I was lucky enough to do that game in Conway alongside Brett Dolan, and you can really credit Hunter Yurachek, the athletic director here at Arkansas, for making this series happen as part of the larger push to start having Arkansas play the other in-state schools.
I think it's great, certainly for softball and the other sports, but softball in particular. It's great for the sport, right? For these kids, traveling softball's really ramped up. A lot of good talent within the four corners of this state. I think it's a really good thing.
Both coaches said pretty much the same thing in terms of this being a really good game and for the next generation of players. Arkansas is a state that got to fast pitch late. They've only been playing for the last 20 years or so. It was still primarily slow pitch up until around 2000, and you think about that. It's for those of us who grew up with it, it seems unusual. But what this series has done is it's provided quality softball on display, personalities like Hannah Gamble that fans can grow attached to. And so you're seeing the growth in the young girls. Courtney Deifel said in her neighborhood, now there's handfuls of young girls playing softball.
It's something you didn't see 5, even 10 years ago, right? That's something that's really helped grow the sport. I think it's made both of these programs better as well.
I would agree, 100%.
It's 2-2 to L.J. Smith now, Central Arkansas second baseman, who made a couple of dandy stops a half inning ago. Works a good count here against a very good pitcher in Robin Herron.
This is a good at-bat here by L.J. Smith to lead off the third inning. Central Arkansas got the leadoff runner in the first in Kylie Griffin. Even with as much speed as Renee Christian has in left field, that ball hung up enough that Reagan Johnson, as soon as she sees that ball is going to be a base hit, she's immediately thinking too. Watch her round first. We're not going to get to see it from that angle, but she never slowed down. She was going two all the way. Johnson does a nice job. There's a little undercut swing, but just look at her. She never slows. That's a great cut. Nice banana curl. Keeps it nice and tight. Never a doubt that was a double.
Followed that ball off the bat. She knew when she watched it drop that she was going two all the way. Reagan Kramer now stepping in for Arkansas. Flew out to right field her first time up.
This is where Courtney Deifel, we talked about those adjustments that she wanted to see from her team, and one of them coming out of the Oklahoma series was making adjustments inning to inning a little bit faster than they did against the Sooners. And already you see from Johnson, got the leadoff hit. Now with Kramer, they've got options here.
And you want to put pressure on the opposing pitching staff. That's what the name of the game is offensively. They've done it all year.
And they're going to have to do it when they go on the road to Knoxville and Carlin Pickens and the rest of the Tennessee pitching staff.
Well, that's a good Tennessee program, right? Pitching especially.
Listen, Tennessee, as you take a look at Courtney Deifel there, they've always been known for their pitching staff. I was the same age as Monica Abbott. She was a little bit older than I was. We played against them in the Knoxville Regional back in 2005. I mean, you've got Pickens. You talk about Abbott as a generational talent. Carlin Pickens matching the velocity numbers that Monica Abbott put up. It's a piece of hitting by Addie Graham, and for Central Arkansas, you needed a little bit of a spark after it felt like the Razorbacks were going to run away with it. This ball on the inner half of the plate and lefties, this is where they love to hit. Watch this pitch from Herron in its location. It didn't break enough, and then it sat up. That was supposed to be a rise ball that did not rise enough. Graham was all over it.
Maya January standing in now for the Bears. Right fielder fouls the first one away. But they've got a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs.
First time all day they've had a runner in scoring position. Griffin got on the first, but was erased on a fielder's choice.
That's right. Just the second hit of the game for UCA. Arkansas only has 4, but they've made all of theirs count. A couple of long balls. They were trying to play the bunt, was Arkansas. Rijo was kind of wheeling around to third base, so there was a lot of space for Graham to come off the bag at second.
Central Arkansas loves to run, but this has been the issue for UCA in their 16 losses. They've fallen behind early, and this is not an offense that's built to overcome crooked number deficits, and then they're not able to effectively use their small ball and their speed when they're playing from behind.
Yeah, and I think the key for them offensively is trying to find ways to put the bat on the ball, put it in play against a very good pitcher at Herron. Hitters count, though, for Maya January. That's a good place to start if you're UCA. Good pitch, though. Busted inside corner for the strike.
That was a good pitch. Hood You saw a little shake of the head there, and this is what they've done in the first 4 innings over the course of the season, but you have to look to be aggressive in hitters' counts. That's the biggest thing as a batter.
2-2 pitch. That one up and away, or upstairs. Nice snag from Kennedy Miller.
Good job by Miller to get up. I like the decision, though, from Herron. That's that high-tier rise ball. That's a waste pitch. It's a strikeout pitch.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to use it. She hasn't had too much today.
Wants that to be a little bit more competitive. Maya January payoff pitch. Chopped softly in the third baseline. Foul ball.
A little nubber. McDowell doing what she could to try and get there in time. A lot of times you'll see third baseman elect to let that travel. Let your pitchers pitch another pitch. I'm always of the opinion that you want to be as aggressive. Try to get the out anytime you can, because as we saw with the men's baseball team against Oregon State a few years ago, we all know what can happen when you have one. Thought she had it, but again with the wind, Veach had to come on a little bit more than she initially thought. It's a good job tracking that ball all the way in. On a day like today where you have the wind, as you see Coach Parsons there, the communication is something we haven't talked about in terms of the outfielders and the infielders, but your communication has to be on point when it's windy. Heard.
Kennedy Miller standing in now, the catcher for the Razorbacks. 0 for 1 today with a ground out to third. But the inning began with a missile off the bat of Vitalia Rijo, her 4th long ball of the year. And it's just one of these things for this Arkansas lineup. You get through them once, that's one thing. The second time around, their bats really heat up after they get to see you.
It's all about adjustments and understanding what you're seeing at the plate. And so often you just saw the graphic there in terms of adjustment inning to inning, but a lot of things, and it's something that Courtney Deifel is working on, is the adjustment pitch to pitch and being able to understand and then really work through the information. And a lot of that has to do with the batters that come before you as well. You're supposed to be feeding information down the batting lineup as you go.
And I think you look at the hitting coach, DJ Gasso, on the staff for Coach Deifel.
Has power to take the ball out of the ballpark. Wyckoff, we've already seen go yard, and then Ellis after her.
Yeah, Kramer hitting .400 coming into today's contest. She's 0 for 1 today with a walk. But yeah, I mean, as a pitcher, you've got to be careful when you face this part of the lineup.
Well, and you talk about philosophy, right? You and I were just talking about the aggressiveness, and that's been the adjustment for Reagan Kramer this year. Courtney Deifel said she's always been so good in terms of her zone recognition, but what she's seen differently from Kramer in her junior season is now she's hunting, where in the past few years she might have been a little bit more defensive in her at-bats. If it wasn't, even if it was a good pitch, if it wasn't the right count, she wasn't going after it. Now Kramer going after it and trying to be more aggressive at the plate.
Yeah, and that comes with maturity, too. That's what Coach Deifel talked about her as well, is her maturity at the plate. If you see a pitch you can drive, do some damage with it. Because here's the reality. If you get too far into a count, then you get into a pitcher's count when it's 1 ball, 2 strikes, 0-2, then your approach changes and you're at the pitcher's mercy.
I played with someone who would always take first pitch regardless, and
Wow.
I never understood that philosophy because you're basically just giving the pitcher a free strike.
Hitters count for Kramer. Thought about it. Good take, though. Now it's 3-1. Layfield's just trying to battle, right? She kind of got hit hard by Rijo, but she responded, relatively well.
I've been impressed with the way that she has worked back from that leadoff home run.
High strike that time to run the count full.
They're really trying to force that inside corner on a lefty. They like it inside, but you have to make sure that you can clear the front side if you're going to bust the Rijo. A rock by the shorts. No doubt about it. The Razorbacks back on top. A great day for Robin Herron. She has been filling up the strike zone. 43 of her 61 pitches have been for strikes, and it's been her ability to really utilize the strike zone. She's changed speed, she's moved it east to west, and she's kept these Bears hitters off balance. It's one of the major reasons why she's now sitting on a 4-run lead. She's only given up 3 hits.
Control has been the name of the game for Herron. She has put it right where she wants it. A big, healthy cut, but a swing and a miss for strike 1.
to send runners, put pressure on the opposing defense, and that's exactly what they've done to chase Robin Herron and get back within 2.
So Maddie Young does the job. We'll tell you about the new Arkansas pitch.
Valuable experience here.
Carmen Uribe will pinch run over at second for Central Arkansas as Addie Graham standing in with 1 aboard and 2 gone.
I've liked the response here from UCA, though, to dig in deep after falling behind.
Showing some fight. Carmen Uribe's got speed over there at second, so if Graham follows up with another hit to the outfield, a good chance to score another.
And that's the thing that Jenny Parsons told us. She said, I want to be the 2022 team, the 2023 team against the Razorbacks. I don't want to be last year's team.
So Graham, after showing some pop her last time up with a double, bunts this one foul.
Even with 2 outs, UCA still comfortable as Coach Parsons sitting next to Kylie Griffin, the field general, if you will. They still have enough confidence in their bat control and their speed to bunt with 2 outs.
Harrison trying to expand the zone a little bit. That's a good take from Addie Graham. Freshman on freshman. It's the hitter. He's trying to battle a little bit. She chokes up on that bat. Up and away once more. So you can tell Harrison's idea is try to go outside with Graham. That's what Herron did. Got some swing and miss. That time tries to push outside.
Herron started off the game so strong, no freebies, but the walks and the hit by pitch. It didn't take much to come back. If you're the pitcher, you have to recognize that trying to get the force at third means that that ball has to be down in the zone. You're trying to get the batter to top it and pull it to the left side of the field.
And the only good thing for UCA is they're likely Day's going to hit it hard, so you'll have a chance to get it out, perhaps, depending on where it's hit. Day is a dangerous hitter in that 5-0. We already went over the numbers back in the first inning. Whenever Bree Ellis walks, it's just nightmare for the opponent what Courtney Day does.
Maddie Young coming and giving some instruction to Layfield.
That one catches the inner half of the plate, waist high.
I'd have to say, as a third baseman, what I would be thinking in this scenario is I would be expecting my pitcher to either bust Day on the inner part of the plate, trying to get something off the handle, or really go to the outer part of the plate, maybe try to get her to chase and pull something around so you get a weak ground ball to the left side of the field.
Well, I like that approach. Yeah, you get a chance to get a tough hitter and get him out, yeah.
But you have to hit the spot, because if you leave it too much dead center, you're going to be in trouble.
It's a good pitch from Layfield, down and away. Gets the strike call to even things up. I think it's important here for Layfield, the freshman, to battle against this tough part of the lineup. Courtney Day 0 for 2 today with a couple of flyouts to left field. Hit sharply, foul past the diving Griffin at third.
That's the right idea. Day just got a good barrel on that. She opened up that front hip. That allowed her to get to contact really quickly and drive the barrel through on an inside pitch. Look at the contact point here. She already starts with a slightly open stance, but you
can saw, but Layfield gets the tough out.
The most important thing for if you're UCA is getting an out.
Yeah.
That keeps you in the mix here in this inning, but good job by Day. Elevated that ball deep part of the park. There was never a chance that there was going to be a play on Wyckoff. And to Wyckoff's credit, as a runner, as soon as you see that ball go in the air, you get back to the base, you pay attention to your base coach, and let them key you on when to go.
So now here's Ella McDowell 0 for 2. Layfield would love a double play ball. Delivers a strike to begin on the outer portion.
This would be the portion of the lineup where you might be able to roll a double. Ellis moves well. So does McDowell, but they don't have the speed that you see from Central Arkansas. A double play ball, if hit sharply, definitely doable.
McDowell's got other ideas, though. She wants to put Arkansas back on the board again. It was a 5-1 game coming into the top of the 5th inning, but UCA with a couple of clutch hits. Lily Hood and Maddie Young.
I'm almost interested to see if Deifel will put Ellis in motion.
Big whip there. Came up empty. Just to try to stay out of the double play ball?
You put her in motion sometimes, especially with a young pitcher, young catcher, you can force a mistake. Just apply a little pressure.
Arkansas pick